Hello everyone, it's day 3 of the European Club Cup here in Serbia, and today I played against a very strong grandmaster, Evgeny Romanov. He is rated 2580, he is of my age, and interestingly we have played against each other back in 2003 at the European Youth Chess Championships under 16. That game, after 54 moves, big fight, ended in a draw. But here in this video, I'm going to show you what happened in today's game. Well, I'm playing with the white pieces, and well, he's a very strong player with a big repertoire, so it's quite difficult to prepare for him. Anyway, I will show you what happened. I played a move 1 e4, he goes for e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. It's the Rouleau pass. And now he goes for a6, bishop a4, and frankly speaking, he caught me here by surprise. I was mainly expecting the main move for black here, which is knight f6, and I had interesting ideas I wanted to try out against him. Unfortunately for me, he surprised me with his move d6, and of course I have seen this move before. It's what it's called the Steinitz deferred variation, or even the Neo-Steinitz. There are different names for this variation. Anyway, it's an interesting line, and usually black is really trying to develop with moves like bishop d7, maybe g6, bishop g7, and usually you get an interesting game. And well, I was a bit surprised. Actually, I was spending a lot of time in my preparation on other systems, so I decided here to play the move d4. I was hoping to catch him also by surprise with this move. It's an interesting idea, as here I'm intending to go d5 and pin to attack the pinned knight on c6. But he played here the move b5, and now my bishop is under an attack. So I go back with the bishop to b3, and here now things are getting quite interesting. He decided to take with a knight on d4. I take with a knight, he takes with a pawn, but white has to be very careful here, because a very well-known trap is if you take the pawn on d4 with the queen. Looks like everything is looking nice for white here with bishop on b3, queen on d4, but black can win material with this move c5, attacking the queen. The queen has to move, but you can't put the queen on d5. You're attacking the rook, but more importantly, you're threatening checkmate on f7. However, the way to deal with that is to play here the move bishop e6 to attack the queen. Even if you go here with the queen to c6, you give a check. The bishop goes back to d7 to attack the queen. The queen goes back to d5. And now the big difference is that the bishop has moved from c8 to d7, which means that the rook is protected on a8. White is not threatening to take the rook, so the way to stop white's mating threat on f7 is to play here the move c4 to attack the bishop, and the bishop is trapped. Of course, I have seen this trap before. I'm not going to fall into it. And well, I decided here to play the move c3, so that I'm making actually a pawn sacrifice of this line. And black has to decide whether to accept that by taking on c3, or well, he can also advance the pawn to d3. But if you do that, let's say you play a move like d3, I'm happy to take with the queen, and I feel that white is a bit better in this position, especially thanks to that beautiful bishop on b3. There are always ideas to challenge the pawn on b5 with something like a4. Very comfortable game. That was what I was looking for at this point. But he decided here to take on c3, and I have seen this line before, but I couldn't remember all the ins and outs. I think it's possible just to take back with the knight, your pawn down, but you have a small lead in development, and you can try to castle, maybe put a rook on e1, at some point the bishop can go out to g5 if the knight is on f6. There is definitely some play for the pawn. However, considering my physical state after this very huge game yesterday, I decided here to play the move queen d5 anyway. Now, the same way to defend against this double attack with bishop e6, queen c6, bishop d7, queen d5, and here a repetition of moves simply cannot be avoided by either side. I'm threatening mate in one. If you play a move like queen e7 to protect that pawn on f7, well, there is queen takes a8 and the rook is hanging. That is not good. Even if you defend the pawn on f7 with knight h6, white can eliminate the defender and renew the mating threat. So here white is just going to win material. Now, he played bishop e6, I played queen c6, bishop d7, queen d5. We repeated the moves. We even had to call the arbiter to prove that we had a threefold repetition, because normally in this event, it's not allowed to make a draw under 40 moves. You're not allowed to make a draw offer at all. However, there are some exceptions, and this exception is the threefold repetition, as neither side is able to avoid it. So, well, this is something we absolutely didn't expect. However, I'm okay with the result, making a draw against a higher rated player. It's a good result for me. Of course, I would have preferred to play a real game. And now you can say this is also a real game, but in fact, this type of repetition has been seen numerous times before. So frankly speaking, we cannot really call it a game. Nevertheless, okay, draw is okay, we move on. We are almost halfway the tournament, 4 more rounds to go. And well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the event. Hopefully even more exciting games then. Now I do have my rest day. There's actually no official rest day in this event. We play 7 days in a row. But actually, after this huge fight I had yesterday, in my yesterday's game, it was a really long game, over 5 hours of play, also with a lot of preparation and time spending with the team. It's a very enjoyable time, but it's also energy consuming. So I'm really looking forward to have a small break, and then of course I will keep you posted of what's going to happen later in this event. Of course, there are many other games to be played as well, but I have to say that when I'm really playing myself, I don't really have time to look at other games. There are so many big stars in this event, like Gukesh, Irigaisi. I think today they even have a chance to break through the 2800 barrier. If that's going to happen, probably at some point I will make a video on one of their exciting games as well. But I hope you understand that as a player, your own game deserves its priority. So therefore, I'm going to focus on my own play. Hopefully tomorrow another interesting opponent, interesting game, and I'm looking forward to share with you my thoughts on what's happening then. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you do like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. All your support is really appreciated and needed, because okay, I'm not doing this only for my own fun. I really want you to support it. So I hope for your understanding what I mean. There is a possibility to make a donation via PayPal, for instance, or subscribe to the channel, of course. Thanks for everything, for all your support, and we see each other very soon again. Bye-bye.